Hello, my friends. Welcome back to campus here at Tradeshows University. I've got a fun episode today as we are going to be talking about lessons from Nick Saban, the legendary head coach of Alabama Crimson Tide football. And he is known by some as the most successful second half coach in football history because he knows how to make adjustments. So that's what we're going to learn today is what does he do at halftime that you can learn about your trade shows and adjustments you can make and learn from him so you could have an amazing show, not just the beginning of the show, but the end of the show as well, the entire show. If you find value in this, please, I would love you to subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and drop your comments in here. Was this helpful for you? But first of all, Nick Saban was just recently interviewed, and someone asked him, "What is your key to success coming out from halftime?" Especially, there's times you're dominated in the first half, and how do you come back and end up winning time and time and time again? So the first thing he said is, you've got to have good information, number one. So those of you who are listening on the podcast are not seeing my high-tech setup here, but number one is have good information. So what does that mean? That means you've got to have good data. You've got to be paying attention. You've got to see what is happening in your booth. What is happening when you're engaging with attendees? Are they reacting positively to the questions you are asking them? Which part of your booth are they being gravitated to? Or are they not being drawn to your booth at all? What is it that you're doing? And at some point, you've got to call timeout, get your team together. If it's a multi-day show, it's at the end of that first day to make sure everyone is on board and you can find out what's working, what isn't, and how do you make those halftime adjustments. So the best way to get all that information, number two, he said, you need to give assignments. Everyone should have something that they're responsible for keeping track of. Have one person whose assignment is, where are people drawn to? Where are they naturally walking up to in your booth? Who are they naturally walking up to? What kind of questions are working and which ones are not working? What things are people resonating with and which ones are they not? Are they loving your giveaways? Maybe they're taking too many of your giveaways and maybe you should pull those off the table and save them for someone else. But you've got to give assignments to each person in your booth and have them responsible for paying attention so you can get good data, good information when you call timeout or you have that halftime at the end of the first day or midway through if you're at a one-day show, you've got to adjust and react based on good, solid data. And you're only going to get good, solid data if you have people looking for that data. You can't be guessing. You've got to have good, solid data. And by doing that, you give assignments. The number three thing he said you need to do, you need to adjust what's not working and double down on what is. Adjust what's not working and double down on what is. So if something's not working, you got to mix it up. You got to have different people out front trying different things, adjusting your people, adjusting the literature, adjusting what is going on in your booth, adjust the questions that you're asking people so that you can have better results. And if something's working, do more of it. Have people shifting into different positions and asking different questions. If something is working for them, make sure you're doubling down on what is working. So that's the third thing. And the fourth thing is change things up day two. Well, he didn't say change things up day two. That's me saying it. What he said was have a game plan ready to start the second half, even before the game. So he said every coach has those first so many plays that they run at the beginning of a game, and you should have a set number of plays ready to run at the beginning of the second half. Now, you may make adjustments and say, oh, based on what we saw in the first half, we're not going to run these plays in the second half, but you got to have that in your back pocket so that you're not spending a whole lot of time trying to figure out what's next. You could already have that game plan. And so by me saying change things up day two, if you're in a multi-day show, at the beginning of the second day, you completely change things up. Maybe you have different pull-up banners. Maybe you have different display pieces. Maybe you have different literature out. Maybe you have a completely different theme of the second day. And you tell people ahead of time, you got to come back tomorrow because we're showing something completely different tomorrow. Maybe you're demoing a different software or a different product. You have a different giveaway the next day. Make things different so people that come the first day, you can say, just because you saw us today doesn't mean you've seen everything we've got to offer. You've got to come tomorrow because we're unveiling a new product tomorrow. So change things up day 2 and do something different. What would you rather have? Would you rather have people come once to your booth or walk by once or multiple times? You could change things up. If it's a 3-day, 4-day show, you could change things up. Is that a lot of work, a lot of preparation? Absolutely it is. But that can mean tremendous results and stickiness and memorability that no one else will have. So those are the 4 tips from Nick Saban, from his mouth to your ears, on how to make your trade show better, from the first part of the show to the second part of the show. So there we go. There's 4 tips from Nick Saban right to you. I know he's talking football and we're talking trade shows, but it makes sense and it works. So number 1, have good information. Number 2, give assignments. Make sure your people have assignments to capture that good information. Number 3, adjust what's not working, double down what is. And number 4, change things up day 2 or midway through your show. Do this, make those successful halftime adjustments, and your show will be a victory. Again, if you found value in this, please subscribe. If you're watching this on video and you never heard of Trade Show U, we've got a couple hundred episodes on the podcast. Go over to Spotify or Apple or wherever you listen to podcasts and look up Trade Show University, and get over to our website, tradeshowu.biz. That's tradeshow.biz, and sign up for our email newsletter. It is going to be so worthwhile for you. And I've got a free gift there for you as well. So thanks for coming back here on campus at Trade Show University, and we will see you next time.